Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Belle Collective. So the episode started out with Kaylon taking the girls on an outing. Now everybody is thinking that this is going to be a day where they're going to relax, go out to eat, have drinks, maybe shop. But no, Kaylon then had them out and about in the woods because she wants to go and purchase a goat. Antoinette remembered that she wanted a goat so that she didn't have to deal with actually being the person to mow the lawn. And I'm like, you could have just spent that money to get somebody to do it for yourself or buy a lawnmower and have somebody come over and do it for you free of charge or for a little something, like make them a meal or something. Let them have some of what you make. I mean, I'm just like, you're doing the most because you don't want to mow the lawn. Girl, bye. I can't. So I don't know if y'all have ever had any interactions with goats like in real life, but my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, at one point in time, some goats appeared at her house and somebody was milking them and all this other stuff. I know I was a child. I remember this stuff. I don't know how I be remembering stuff like this. But anyway, the goats were there, and then the next time we went over there, they weren't. So I'm thinking that what happened was my grandmother purchased the goats, and they ended up either selling the goats or had somebody come over and slaughter them and sold the meat or whatever, because I don't remember nobody talking about goats being eaten or none of that. So yeah, I played with the goats. It was interesting because for whatever reason I was a fearless child. So even though goats can be very like in your face and they do the most and they can like turn and do the most at the drop of a dime, and most people, they got to be on there ready. But I don't know, because I told y'all, I was a very active child. So I don't know. It's like I remember it and it kind of made me like tense up because I remembered what they were doing. The grown me would not be here for it. I ain't trying to do no goat yoga, none of this mess. Like, no, I ain't doing it. But anyway, she had them out there. That was her ulterior motive. And I'm just like, girl, ain't nobody got time. Everybody came out there dressed up in red bottoms and expensive heels. And she actually provided them hats and boots and all this other stuff. But girl, bye. So while they were there, Latrice told everybody what happened with the date night as far as their anniversary was concerned. And, you know, told everybody how she messed up as well and how she was able to kind of redeem herself. So I'm like, okay, whatever, girl. So anyway, Marie invited the person over who they'd been seeing in order to have counseling. Invited him over so that it actually can be a session between them and the children's mothers. So all but one of the children's mothers were able to attend. But yeah, I wonder what that was that she had as the beverage. Was that strawberry lemonade? Because it looked delicious. I don't know what was going on, but I was like, ooh, y'all gotta excuse me. When I'm done with this, I'm making breakfast, and I'm actually gonna have some sort of juice that I'm not supposed to have, really, because I'm going back to the alkaline lifestyle. And yeah, certain things you're not supposed to have. Strawberry is cool, but you ain't supposed to have lemons. I'm not finna get into that, but I'm just saying that looked delicious for some unknown reason to me. Anyway, so she ended up having everybody to go outside, and they were talking outside, and she let everybody know that she has lupus, and also she has fibromyalgia, and in addition to the 12 pills that we learned about last week, she has to take some sort of injection as well. So she was saying this to let everybody know that despite the fact that she's the grandmother and she wants to spend as much time as she can with her grandkids, all of them, at the same time, she just really cannot unless she has somebody there with her. And y'all know her husband ain't never around. He ain't never nowhere to be found. He ain't never answering the phone or checking in. He just out and about. So anyway, and the son, he is hours away in school. So it's like, nobody is there to help her most of the time. So that's why she's only able to do like one here, one there, and all that, instead of all of them together like she wishes that she could. But anyway, when she takes these medications, it makes her very, very drowsy, sleepy, and all that. So she's not going to be able to be 100% coherent and do what she needs to do as far as holding them, chasing after them, and all that. Like, she's a 100% different person when she's on that medication. And there have been times that she's foregone that medication so that she can spend the time that she wanted to and use the energy that she wanted to on her grandbabies. And she was just letting them know, like, that's just something that I should not have to do. So unless I had that support, I can't do all of this. And I'm just letting y'all know, this is what's going on with me. My health has declined tremendously. So I can't do what I used to do. She told baby mamas that they need to call him first to see, if he can do something, even if she is going to ultimately be the one who going to hand him the money to hand it to them. They should not know that the money's coming from her. And I'm like, girl, I hear you, but at the same time, we all know the money coming from you because he ain't working. So it's like, where else would the money be coming from? You saying all this, but it's like, I get it, but it's just a waste of breath, girl. You might as well just let it stay the way that it is now. When they need money, hey, Miss Marie, can you run me some money for the kids? Can you run me some money for whatever it is? She paying for somebody's she paying for something for somebody, y'all. It ain't even got nothing to do with the kids. I was like, ma'am, you're doing a lot. Somebody going to school or they doing something and she paying for it. And I was like, ma'am. But anyway, I'm just like, I don't see the point in you doing all of this, but whatever. So yeah, everybody trying to act like they're on the same page, and it ended with the two children's mothers who were there. One of them asked if they could, be friends. They ain't got to be best friends, but they want them to be able to be cordial and all this other stuff. And they said they was cool with that, and it'll be all right. It ain't got no issue with doing that. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's good. He talking about he gonna do the best he can. One of them said all they want him to do is go out there and be the best man he can be. The other one was like, look, I want you to be in my child's life, meaning hands-on, because I ain't had that. So he talking about he gonna do what he gotta do, even if he gotta drop everything. So we gonna see. We gonna see. So Essie rolled up on Marie at the house, wanted to know what's wrong with her, what's going on. And so she was like, Cedric ain't called, he ain't been home, and y'all know that's her husband. And so she was like, well, try to call him. I doubt he gonna, answer, but try to call him. So she tried to FaceTime him. He didn't answer. So she was like, see, I told you. So she was just, you could see that Marie was becoming more and more upset, sad, and all that, tearing up. Essie said exactly every single thing that I have been saying since we found out that this is her second go round with this fool. It's like, for what? You basically going through the same thing. You already guaranteed yourself that this is going to be a rerun of what you've already dealt with before. You already told us that you was married to him before and he was cheating and doing the most then. He doing exactly the same thing. I don't understand what the point. Anyway, before I get carried away, because I will. Essie told her he is not the one for you. Remember when you was sick, you was in the bed, he wasn't here. I'm telling you, the first few moments of this scene, before Essie even started talking about all that, I was like, girl, as sick as you are, I bet he don't be there when you be sick, when you have these moments. Because like I told y'all before, I know people who do have lupus. And the have had is the person who is now deceased. It is a very, very serious illness. You can't do nothing when it full on attacks your immune system, when it attacks you. It's a lot. And then she has fibromyalgia on top of that. Like, it's a lot. Like, she got to go through the absolute most. He ain't there to help her most of the time, take care of the kids, the grandkids. And I said it right the first time, the kids, because they got kids. I think that he has at least one with her. At least, I think the daughter at least is biologically his, but still, she still has young children in the house. And the grandkids, like, like, I don't understand. She told me, oh, I think he cheating. I'm I'm like, girl, I know he cheating. I ain't even down. I know he cheating. It's like, it's stupid. What was the point of you getting back with him? I don't even understand. Like, it's something I want to say in reference to him, but I'm not going to do it. Y'all normally come through in the clutch for me and say it for me, so feel free to fill in the blank for me. And I'm going to be like, that's exactly what I thought. Y'all will know down in the comment section. But anyway, so so Letitia and Tambra have gone down to City Hall to see old boy again. And she wants to know what's going on because she has been hitting so many roadblocks. She's been calling people. Ain't nobody been calling her back. She don't know what's going on. So old boy let her know that, you know, a lot of people were left with a bad taste in their mouth after hearing about what happened at her brunch. He left out, even though he did see quite a bit, he left out. And so, you know, he did ask what happened and all that, but yeah. Bad news travels fast. I don't know why she ain't understand that. I mean, at this point, girl, you should have just went to everybody's house or met everybody individually and fed them real quick and was like, hey, I'm interested in this. Would you be interested in doing this? And see where it went from there, because it's been quite a catastrophe every time you get together with these heifers. So no. But yeah, so she talking about, oh, well, I'm going to do what I got to do because I don't want my reputation to be known as that. Tambra is trying to explain that since she's been hosting her brunches over the 5 to 7 years that this has never happened. This is the first time something like this has happened and all of that. And I'm just like, girl, it is what it is. So, Tambra ended up meeting up with the ex. And why she came in the door like this? I was like, what? Was she supposed to be shimmying into the door? What happened? Was she shimmying into the spot? But anyway, they linked up. He was going to have a romantic dinner with her. He had pink roses waiting on her. She was so like fired up about what happened when she linked up with Letitia that she was like, I know that, you know, we ain't really supposed to be talking about girl stuff, but I just got to get this off my chest. And so she told him about what happened with Dad and all the drama, and that she thinks that there needs to be a sistervention. And I'm just like, girl, why people want to sit up there and create words? Why? Why y'all always got to try to create a word when there are words out here that are barely being used, but y'all want to sit up here and create new ones to say the same exact thing? Stop. But anyway. So yeah, he was like, okay, well, no, enough about that. He wanted to know what was going on with her. She found out, you know, of course, we found out along with her about the fibroids and all that. And so he looked like he was a little sad when he found out about it. And so she was like, well, you know, the last times that I've had the surgeries, it was like this. And I'm like, girl, you 40 now. You in your 40s. The older you get, it's crazy. You might not spring right back up like you did before. Didn't you say you was with this man 16, 17, 18 years ago? You was young then. I mean, 40 is still young. I'm just saying. That's the difference. The healing is completely different. All that. Healing could be like nothing when you're young. I'm just saying. But anyway, so he was like, well, you know, your job, you know, working was a factor as well as to why we weren't able to do the things that we were going to do, you know, your career. And so she over here talking about time waits for no man and all of that, and that she could see him being somebody that she settled down with. So I'm like, okay, whatever, heifer. Tambra and Brian invited everybody except Marie and Essie, I guess you could say as well, to her home for this girls' day where they hang out and drink and go eat, I guess. And so before Letitia got there, she was talking to all the other ladies about how they felt about the brunch and all the other stuff that went down. And so she was just like, look, that's not a good look. That's not great for anybody's brand for that to have been the case. I've never experienced this before. I mean, people have been focusing on the negative and not the positive. That should have been the highlight of what was going on. And so Antoinette has been the most vocal person in the room in regards to this. And she's like, girl, it's the brunches for me. The brunches ain't what they need to be, because every time I've gone to a brunch, it has gone all the way left. And so Latrice said that, the one brunch she went to went left, and the common denominator is Marie. And they basically were like, if Marie is standing next to her, then they will not be supporting Letitia. And so, child, it done got so bad that now Letitia has arrived at the house. And so she was like, let me go ahead and prep her and get her right before she has to face these ladies. And so she poured her a big glass of wine and told her, I think you're going to need this. And so she walked in and she was like, am I walking into a party or am I walking into the lion's den? So she sits down, they're talking to her about what has occurred. And the whole time she was like, look, I cannot speak for Marie. I feel like you, meaning Latrice and Marie, no matter where they were, you can't just sit up here and say it's the brunch. It's the reason why all this happened was because y'all were at the brunch. This could have happened if y'all had met at the convenience store. Y'all still was gonna have that same energy. So don't be sitting up here trying to say it's the brunch. And I cannot speak on behalf of Marie. So it is what it is as far as that is concerned. I kind of felt like, well, Marie be speaking on behalf of you, but okay. But people are just like, nah, if that's your friend and you gonna ride for her no matter what, then we ain't gonna stand with you. When they first said that, I was kind of like, well, if Marie got all this money like she talking about she sounds like she got more money than everybody combined, so she really ain't gonna need nobody but Marie. And Essie might go ahead and put her some money in it too. So I'm like, I mean, I don't feel like y'all be hurting her feelings or the pockets. So, okay. But yeah, so Lord, it got into a full-on shouting match between Tambra and Antoinette. Oh, child. Because she was just like, it is not what you say it is. It is not in women empowerment. Latrice has been saying that every time she go, the women are tearing each other down. She don't feel empowered. I don't see the point. I ain't here for it. So Tambra and Antoinette kept going back and forth. And then eventually Tambra was like, are you not black? Are you a black woman? And I was like, oh gosh, no. And so she was like, I don't even really try to hear what you talking about, because you said you've never dealt with colorism and all this other stuff in all your life. Now, what Tambra did say was that she hadn't experienced racism and all that stuff until recently, which I don't know. I feel like it might have happened, but she just didn't really associate it with that, or maybe she was so light that people was like, oh, okay. I don't know. But she said that she ain't experienced it until recently. So I can kind of see why Antoinette said that, but she took offense to that and was like, who said that? Nobody said that. And I'm like, oh Lord. Anyway, it just got to a point where eventually Antoinette went on ahead and apologized to her, because she was like, look, whichever direction you decide to move as far as this is concerned, just know that I'm not going in that direction. Do what you do. It is what it is. She apologized. And so I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, Antoinette ended up asking Latrice if she could, talk to her for a minute while they were still at the little gathering. And so she had a moment with her, and she explained to her that, the practice is coming along and it's moving faster than she thought. And because she is no longer married and doesn't have that person that she can confide in and feel like she could be free to express herself and express any type of emotion with, that now she is faced with, what if it fails? What if it doesn't go the way that I planned it? And I usually had somebody that I could just talk to about this, but now I have no one. If this fails, then what? I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to be bankrupt. I'm going to be all these things. And so like she started crying and all this other stuff. But I have to commend Latrice for encouraging her and told her that God would not bring you this far. He would not lead you this far to leave you and all this other stuff. And like, she gave a lot of good encouragement. So I thought that was awesome. Y'all, next week. Okay, y'all. I'm going to say it again next week, but I'm tired. So anyway, why they showed in the preview that Marie and S is sitting up there at the house boxing up Cedric's stuff. Girl, what? Why? Why are you neatly boxing his clothes up? Why? I'm not finna neatly box nothing up. You better throw that in a trash can and burn it. Like, what? I don't understand. Put it in a trash bag, if that. Like, girl, bye. I would definitely, like, I feel like her house is big enough. Just throw his stuff all out your room and throw it in the kids' room or somebody's room in a tote or something. I don't understand. Put it in some totes somewhere else out of your room. You over here helping him move. Like, girl, why? I can't. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. That's just to toe my nerves down. I was like, girl, no. You boxing his stuff up for him for what? Anyway, hopefully y'all are having a wonderful day. I am about to make me some breakfast and try to enjoy my day and get ready for work in the morning. I hope y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe out there. Bye.